Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright guys, we got some real exciting stuff today. We got a big fat green candlestick here. I know it's only up 0.25%. You did have that gap down to start off the day, but I want to point your attention. We're going to start off the video with volume. All right, guys, we have an extremely low volume today on SPY and QQQ, specifically SPY. All right, the same look, okay, can be seen here on QQQ. You got this very low volume. We know market participants are waiting for a move, okay? They're literally just waiting for a move. NVIDIA earnings is tomorrow. I saw something on Twitter that said this is the lowest volume that SPY has had since lowest non-holiday volume that SPY has had since 2017. What does that tell us, guys? That means market participants just were not out and about today. They were not active. All right. They literally were just sitting on their hands waiting because they know a massive catalyst is right around the corner. The king of the market will speak tomorrow. We're going to have to see what happens. All right. Who is the king of the market? Okay. It's the guy who's going to be speaking on NVIDIA over here. Okay. But NVIDIA is, kind of also king. This thing will be dictating where we go. I am just going to say we have a bullish setup going into earnings. I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Maybe you come up here. Maybe you sweep the high. Maybe you put in a shooting star candlestick, a spinning top. No idea. Maybe we get an upper wick going into that earnings event that will suggest like, hey, all right, market participants are trying to sell it right before. And then, maybe things, I'm really not going to say they're going to change because if you pull back from here, if you guys are not new to the channel, you probably see exactly what I am about to point out, which is this inverse head and shoulders formation right there. What the heck are you doing? All right. You got this inverse head and shoulders right here. If you were to pull back. All right. Now, how big of a pullback can you handle? Okay. 10%. Now I'm just going to say, I think we have a massive move loading tomorrow. Right here, 16% day. Right here, it was a nothing burger. Okay, it was literally a nothing burger, but you did end up having this $22 sell. Right here, all right, it was a decent, a pretty volatile day there. Nothing crazy though. Right here, insanity. All right, insanity. I think we might have some insanity. All right, so we're paying attention here. They might have to announce a split tomorrow. All right. Well, they don't have to do anything, but tomorrow is definitely that's the time to do so. All right. And might I add, guys, look at how beautiful this chart is. Okay. Technically speaking, this brings me pure pleasure looking at this chart and being able to chart this chart. All right. You are literally continuously riding this uptrend. You had this inverse head and shoulders formation right here that you broke out of. You're not new here to the channel, then you knew about this. You also did have this downtrend break and retest. Guys, NVIDIA is probably the cleanest ticker that I can really point to in terms of price action here in a while. All right, we're going to be pointing to something else that is just starting up in the second half of this video. I don't think you are going to want to miss it because it is going to be heating up and it just started today. All right, so stay tuned for that. But back over here. All right, guys, so we know a big move is right around the corner. I don't know which way you're going to go, but guys, NVIDIA has a 10% day. Let's just say SPY, NVIDIA gets a 10% gap up. This guy might, we're going to actually refer to QQ. QQ might gap up over 1% here. Okay. You get a 10% gap down, QQQ might, it might just, gap down that percent there. And it's just going to be revisiting here. And I'll be bullish on it, just like I've been pointing out here on this channel. All right. But here on the daily time frame, guys, you can see we did not close out with a bearish look. You do have a bullish engulfing candlestick. If this volume was not looking like this, I would say we have a really sexy look going on here leading into tomorrow. All right. Now, what you could put in here is the 3 white soldiers. All right. Or the 3 white knights. I think it's the 3 white soldiers, right? Regardless, you have this, you're going to print another one. We're going to have a gap down here, and you're going to close above this high. That would create your candlestick pattern. All right. If you do, this is a bullish continuation candlestick pattern. So let's see if we form it. All right. I don't know how it's going to go. I really have no idea. I never know what's going to happen, just like you guys don't. But what we can do is put all of our clues together. All right. And guys, honestly, our clues are pretty freaking clear right now. All right. QQQ, you pull back into the zone right here. You're looking for buyers. SPY, you pull back into the zone right here. You're looking for freaking buyers. All right. Now that we've covered the daily time frame, let's come down here and scale it down to the 15-minute chart. Does this look bearish to you? It does not look bearish to me. All right. So keep in mind, guys, this is your heavily traded zone. That is what I like to call them. You're not going to really hear other people referring to them, but you'll definitely hear me say that. Heavily traded zone. They could flip back and forth between supply and demand. All right. Doesn't really matter. All right. You could very clearly see it's being treated as a demand zone now. All right. So buyers are continuously holding the line in that zone. And now they've broken you out from another inverse head and shoulders pattern, guys. We're going to be talking a lot about these in this video. All right. You got that going on. You broke out. You broke out through your neckline. You retested the neckline / your demand zone and you pushed up. All right. You literally got rejection spot on over here, 1 cent away from our level over here. All right, guys, if you have accurate levels and your technical analysis is accurate, it's what it has to be or what it should be, then you will see your levels and your analysis be respected. That is exactly what we have right here. You rejected off of here, pulled back, retested. You know, this is picture perfect, guys. We're getting really clean price action recently, and I'm loving it. I hope you guys are killing in this market, all right? You broke up to new high. I don't necessarily think this looks bearish, even in the slightest. I really don't. The only thing I can point to is that you do have a bearish divergence over here on the hourly RSI. That is something. But guys, if you're not new to the channel, then you do know I continuously will look for these bearish divergences to form before looking for pullbacks. We have no reason to really get bearish right here. I think we're seeing some higher prices. All right. Now you can't say, oh, Henry, all right, you literally have a bearish divergence right here. I understand. This thing doesn't look clean to me. This is what it's going to look like. All right. This is what it's going to look like. When you literally get this steady grind up here, this is what it's going to look like. All right. You didn't have it. You had it over here in SPY. You typically will have either a 15-minute bearish divergence on SPY or QQ before you get these pullbacks, which is why when we start bouncing over here, I told you if we continue to the upside, we're just waiting on that 15-minute bearish divergence to form. No reason to get bearish yet. All right. SPY, does this really look bearish to you guys? I'm sorry, but you quite literally have an extremely bullish look here. Okay. Just missed it. Okay. Just missed the 0.618 fib. But again, with this inverse head and shoulders pattern, you had the same exact thing going on over here. You look at it as a downtrend break, inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to refer to it as. All right. This is me. All right. These things look, honestly, guys, you know, when you see things, you say things. Okay. And, you know, quite frankly, guys, we've had really freaking clean price action recently. It's been quite amazing. It really has. I really hope you guys are having a good time in this market. And, you know, straight up, guys, if you get happy like me with clean, like, you know, you see clean charts, you get excited about them, you guys got to be getting so excited. We have so many clean setups going on right now. It's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. All right. This market's heating up. And I'm going to remind everyone, it's an election year. Okay. So keep that in mind. The market is not going to die. The market will probably not have a massive pullback this year. Okay, it could. All right, it could. But as you guys all saw, as I saw, we got a pullback. Okay. Many were not satisfied enough with this pullback. But what did it do? Then it ripped faces back to the upside. And now you're at a new high. All right. What happens every other time you pull back and then you go up to a new high? You go decently higher. What happens when that pullback is like 6%? There, 6%. You're probably going way decently higher. All right. 6%. Break out the high. When was your next real pullback? You went 9% up. Okay. I am not saying that is going to be the case. I am definitely going to point out the patterns that I see on these charts, guys. Break through the high. Okay. Went another 3% up. Break through this high. You went up. Okay, right here is the only one I'll give you this. Okay, but you still want another 1.7% up. Are we 1.7% up? No, we are not. All right, I think we go higher from here. I genuinely believe we go higher from here before even a little pullback. And you get that pullback, guys, it's just going to probably get bought up right here. Okay, if it really wants to not get bought up there, you're just watching right here. You're watching right here. Okay, let's actually put our magnet on here. You're going to be your exact levels that you're paying attention to. If it does not hold that zone, all right, it's really just that. All right, you're looking for one of these things are going to be where buyers step in, but with all likelihood, you're going to do it right here. Pointing out in yet, last week's weekly update, Saturday night. Thank you if you tuned in. Guess what? You do not have a bearish look to this. It does not suggest immediate downside. You had increasing volume on an all-time high breakout. You're probably going decently higher. Okay, QQQ, same look over here. All-time high breakout, increasing volume. Did not give a bearish look. Okay, it really did not. Come over here to IWM. Things just grinding higher, but I will say it's right here. And honestly, my paths from this point forward on IWM look something like this. Okay, I understand you got a lot of crap here. Let's just get IWM out of the way here. Okay, let's literally just take care of our IWM analysis here on the 15-minute time frame. All right, so you just saw the paths. That's where I think they're going. All right, take out that magnet. There you go. We're going to go like that. You have that downtrend. You just broke out of that downtrend, so there's that. Okay, you also want to talk about it. You want to see something? Oh, golden pocket held the line. All right, so there's also that. This thing really doesn't look all that bad to me. Okay, you clearly do see this level is being respected. Break and retest right there. You got your dead cat bounce into a lower high, and then you sold off. You got the break and retest again right here. All right, just you literally flipped it. You know what I was saying about the heavily traded zone? All right, the heavily traded zones, how they flip back and forth between supply and demand. Well, you flipped over it right here. This was your breakout level. Okay, came back into it, demand. You sold off through it. You even got this little break and retest going on right there. All right, but now you came back into it from the downside, and guess what? The opposing side came in. Sellers bounced into opposing side right here. Sellers, it's now supply. All right, and guys, let me just explain the whole supply and demand concept. All right, what happens when there's less supply of something and there's more demand? Price go up. Doesn't matter what we're talking about. We don't got to be talking about the market, all right? It's like just, it's a universal rule of supply and demand. That is that, okay? What happens when there's more supply than demand? Price go down. It physically has to go down so they can even out, okay? That is all supply and demand is, guys. Once you understand that in the market, I think it's going to heavily help your analysis and your trading. I heavily believe that. I know there's support and resistance, but if you can understand the psychology that goes on behind the scenes, that is what's going to make the difference. All right. Price action is king. All right. And if you are a fan of learning price action, reading the price action each and every day, here on this channel, we do exactly that. I would love to have you. And welcome aboard if you are new here to the channel. We got 20-something new people overnight. Guess what, guys? Welcome aboard. You're now part of the community. I hope you have a good time. I think you're going to have a good time. All right. You got that going on over here. Bye, guys. Let's look at it this way. Again, the psychology. I told you, this is what makes or breaks you. All right. You have a high. You have a high. People, I literally tell you guys all the time, double tops rarely play out. Okay. I finally call out that we have a potential double top here. And what happens? It does not play out. I like literally said in yesterday's video. Okay. They very, very often do not play out, and you're going to see this exact thing, and people get, bearish on these things, but then you just pull back to the golden pocket. And I understand you didn't, exactly get there, but you see what I'm saying? You pull back from these things, people get bearish, and then buyers, they pull, because let's look at it this way. The psychology behind this one is you came up, you had sellers step in, they pulled you back, and buyers were motivated enough to bring you right back to where they sold you off from. That is a sign of strength. Now, what happens, okay, what happens when you pull back and you get back up there? And boom, bop, bing, boo, pow, you now have another sign of strength. This is not weak, all right? So there's that. I'm not going to talk your ears off about these indices because it is going to come down to NVIDIA tomorrow. Let's talk about some charts, all right? Tesla, guys, extremely sexy setup we got going on. Inverse head and shoulders pattern, all right? Called this out from the breakout of this falling wedge over here. We called this out from the breakout over here, and then you had this big gap. But I hope you guys have been printing off of Tesla, okay? So that's over there. I'm just going to say now, you also now have this smaller time frame inverse head and shoulders breakout. You want to see what I see? You got a that. You got a that. You got a that. There's your neckline. You broke out. I understand. There's a lot of white lines on there because we got a lot of stuff happening in all different time frames here on this chart. All right. Then what do we also have? You see this? You got a left shoulder. You got a head. You have a right shoulder. You have a neckline. Break this neckline, things get exploding. They go crazy. You're going to get a squeezy McSqueeze, baby. All right. Take this arrow, point it to the volume. Guess what? All right. This thing's curling up. You got heavy volume on your breakout. This thing looks like it's coming straight into this trend line. All right. So let's watch for it. I'm looking for 198.87 on this ticker right here. That's going to be the high of this candlestick. You break above 187.56. That is incoming. You clearly have strength behind this move. This is the first day. You're welcome. All right. There you go. Congrats if you got in early on Mr. Tessie. Congrats if you played it over here. Congrats if you started to play it over here. You got an early entry because today the move actually started. Next leg incoming to the upside. Next thing we're going to actually discuss over here is Bitcoin. Okay. 2 paths. All right. We're going to make a third path. You just get bought up to new high, guys. You're going up to a new all-time high again with the sign of strengths. Okay. If you're going to stall out, you're going to do it in the golden pocket. Well, where was the freaking golden pocket? It was right here. You broke above it. All right. So that's that. Okay. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. If it pulls back, you look for a break and retest off of this 67482. That is an exact level. All right. So watch it. Put it on your chart, what you know about it. All right. And then you come down here, golden pocket test, break and retest off the inverse head and shoulders. I told you we're going to be talking all about them in this video, baby. I told you. Woo-wee. All right, there you go. You pull back into that. You have dual support going on here, long-term trend line support going on here. I pointed this out when Bitcoin actually came into it. Told you guys, if you like reading price action and you like doing it daily, you're going to have a really freaking good time on my channel. All right, so I'd love to have you aboard. Bitcoin, we're bullish on it, so let's come over to some coins. Or not coins, some cryptos, some miners slash also coin. That's definitely why I just said that. We'll start off with coin because of that, all right? So we called this one out down here, okay? You ended up getting the bid, all right? You got your sexy looking breakout. This was top watch going into this week. Why? Because the thing is setting up. Now, again, if you were to pull back here, you're going to set this up, all right? We already talked about it. If you pull into this, zone here slash 239.44 and you reject, you give yourself an opportunity to just put in another inverse head and shoulders pattern, baby. All right. You want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. Head, shoulder. Okay. This is bullish structure developing up the wazoo on these charts. I'm bullish on this market, baby. I'm bullish. Hermable Henry. We can now say he's back. All right. He's back. Mara. Break and retest. All right. The levels you are paying attention to is this demand zone, which gets made up between 2023 and 2103. That is where you definitely want to see buyers stepping in. If they don't step in there, all right, what are we going to look to? Golden pocket. All right, guys, we're only going to discuss things that work here on this channel. All right. And I promise all of the methods that I discuss here on this channel are tested through time. All right. By me. All right. You pull back. You don't find buyers here. You're just looking for buyers to step in the golden pocket. If they don't hold $18, you're screwed, Mr. Mara. You just played yourself, all right? And now you have a big old bear flag looking thing that will look a little like that, all right? I don't think that's the case. I think this thing's going to freaking explode, all right? So there's that. Well, keep exploding, I guess. It's just stair-stepping up. Explosion has not happened yet. I think you have this guy coming. I think you have that guy coming. I think you have that guy coming. You're just stair-stepping your way up, all right? You're doing this crap, okay? So get ready for it. But coin, realistically, guys, Bitcoin goes to a new all-time high. You're looking for coin to do some really freaking crazy things. And the next stop is going to be right up here at the high of this candlestick, which is 264.30. That is something to play, okay? That is something to get ready for. That is something to be excited about. 264.30. Okay, there's that. Next one we're talking about. All right, guys, you have SMH. Okay, SMH literally hit it with the break and retest over here. You're above the golden pocket. This thing doesn't look bearish at all, guys, heading into these earnings. It really does not. All right, I don't care what you want to say. I'm going to think for myself here. These charts are extremely freaking bullish, okay? They're extremely bullish. And that is that. All right, guys. So now let's run through them. TELH. Break and retest off this level right here. You're looking like you want to continue higher. All right, so we'll call it out. I already told you guys. There's a solid shot. You didn't stop in this golden pocket because this thing had an explosive setup. I was actually talking to someone about this today. And, hey, guess what? All right. Patience, discipline, wait for your setups. There are going to be times in the market where we don't have anything, like straight up. All right. And like trading futures recently has really just like, it's helped me with that. All right. Like, hey, if there's not a setup to be played, you just sit back and you relax and you wait on things. All right. I highly recommend. But I'm just going to say, guys, I'm going to repeat what I, told this person. Sometimes there, will be, a week or whatever, weeks where there's no A+ setups, like really clear as day, clean setups that we can see are getting follow through. All right. Like this breakout, break and retest. This is a clear as day. I was waiting so patiently on this when we were coming down into here. I got to play it here. I got to play it here. Okay. And then I'm pretty sure I bought the breakout. I'm not sure. Right. I either only played it right here or I also played this. I forgot. All right. But these are the type of setups that, hey, you literally just wait and you stack. And then you get one of these setups that you're patiently waiting weeks on for the break and retest because we already got to play this freaking mumbo jumbo over here. And guess what? All right. Now it happened. Okay. And now let's say you have that freaking 10K to throw on it because you didn't freaking sit there just giving the money back to the market that you made because there are no setups, guys. Most of the time we're going to get consolidation in this market. Does not go straight up, does not go straight up. Not go straight up. It does not go straight up. It does not go straight down. All right. Put it down. Put it down. All right. This market wants to put it up. Okay. Most of it's going to be consolidation. I'm honestly trying my, I'm really, this is my main thing right now. All right. Straight up. This is my next, weak point that I am, putting all of my effort on is that not giving the market back the money that I make week after week. I don't want to do it. All right. And if you don't do it, you're going to be able to patiently wait. All right. And then you're going to have a large amount of capital. And then guess what? I'm going to tell you the same figures I was talking to this other guy. There's your 10 to 40K trade. You wait patiently for this setup. You can buy a few weeks out when you get this setup or this one. It didn't matter where. You had a freaking 2 to 3x opportunity on this one. You had a freaking like 10 to 20x opportunity on this one. This is where the big money in the stock market, I believe, is made. Aside from like sitting there scalping, and if you're a day trader, there's that. But if you're going to be a swing trader, you cannot continuously try and swing these things all the time. There are going to be times where things are just not looking right. Okay, and you got to take a step back. All right, so I thought it was just, a good idea to just hone in on this here on this channel, considering we do have thousands of traders all with the same goal here. And I think that is probably one of the most important things that we all can, keep in the back of our mind. All right, next one we're talking about is SMCI. We got NVIDIA earnings. You see this alert? If we pull back tomorrow, I'm probably going to take a lotto into those earnings, all right? There's that. Extremely sexy A+ setup. You pull back in this trend line somehow, I don't think you're going to get up minus that, I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're probably going to consolidate around here and then rally into NVIDIA earnings. Okay. That's like my outlook over here. Okay. NVIDIA itself, this looks extremely bullish. Downside, look in that. Upside, guys, this thing is just, it's going to go. If it goes, it goes. All right. It's probably not going to hit it with the break and retest. I'm going to be completely honest. PLTR, guys, pulling back into the golden pocket. I told you guys we're going to start keeping this one on watch. Okay. I think this one's going to start heating up. So we're paying attention to it. Break and retest here on the weekly setup. Just like we were paying attention to coin before it went for the last like 1 to 2 weeks. We were preparing for that bad boy. We're doing it right now with PLTR. Okay. Nike. This is one that just actually had a fresh downtrend break. Okay. You got your daily close pretty much like on the trend line, but we're going to call it above the trend line. I don't like this volume. I'm going to be completely honest on that one. But it is a setup to pay attention to if you're interested. So there's that. All right. You can look for these levels right here, 94.32 and 95.55. Above 95.55, you have nothing until 97.81. Okay. That's the low of that candlestick right there. That's where you're paying attention to. This is sexy. All right. Kava, I'll put it back on your radar because you're again pulling back in this 9 EMA. You're either going to get buyers over here. You can take your shot right here, or the sexy setup right here. I really hope we get this, guys. I really do. Kava is something that was just too beautiful not to play before. And now it is looking like this. Yeah. All right. It's probably going to be pulling back. Good, guys. This thing's super strong. Okay. Thing does not look like it's about to turn down. Amazon. That's the next actual setup we'll talk about. All right. Hammer candlestick, increasing volume right off of your support where you broke out from. We got this on the hourly time frame. Yeah, so it was an hourly break and retest we got going on over here. I really like this setup, honestly. All right, and I wish I didn't try and get in. Not try and get in. I wish I didn't get in on the on this breakout and then hold through the false breakout. But I'm also going to say I think this thing's going to be heating up here. And I made sure I bought some time so I could play that bad boy. All right, 195C, guys. I do think we are going to be busting up to a new high. All right, Meta. Same thing, guys. You're watching that trend line. You're now back at support. I told you guys, all right? Support, trend line. Things are getting tight. You're getting ready for a big move. The market's about to make a big move, guys. It's happening. Microsoft, I put it on your radar back over here. You know why? That is why. You also want to know why? Okay? No, That is why. That is why. That is why. When this thing gets oversold territory, you pay attention to it. When it gets something like that, and you could clearly see it setting up, triple bullish divergence, you damn right pay attention to it. You had two massive buying opportunities off of the golden pocket right here, and this is a major golden pocket. This ain't no small chump change right here, right? This is this whole ass move, part of my French. Okay, whole move we were retracing right here, and you found buyers at the exact right spot. It's no coinkadink, all right? It is exactly what I said earlier in this video. I will only spend time talking about the things that work, which is why sometimes when people ask me for ticker requests, all right, I kind of just don't. Because, yeah, if there's no setup to, I think you're watching something that doesn't have a setup, and I'll usually be honest about that and say, like, hey, I think there's other setups that you could pay attention to. There's no reason to cover it, right? But this thing just kept making these break and retests off this inverse head and shoulders pattern. You got the breakout, we called it right there. Break above this level, you're probably going to start trekking up. All right, guys, and you just stair-stepping your way up. Now you're at a new high. This does not look bearish. I understand you can pull back. You got a shooting star / spinning top candlestick, we'll call it. All right, you pull back to this level, you're bullish on that. Okay, that is what I'm paying attention to at least. Apple, guys, continue going today. And I'm just covering the FANG stocks right now, all right? These aren't setups that I'm really particularly paying attention to. GDX, guys, this is one that I am paying attention to. Watch for the retest of this level right here. I want to see what happens. If not there, I think we're probably going to find buyers in between there and there, okay? So it would be, let me put the magnet on real quick. We're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. There you go. That's what you're watching. BABA, guys, last one we're gonna bring up here, okay? It is now starting to pull back. So I told you guys I was going to watch this pull back right here. I'm going to take my shot there if I see it. I think we're going to get it. I also told you guys after this, okay? I told you I would take my shot right here. I got my shot twice and I didn't take it, and both would have been sexy, all right? So guys, just know I call a lot of things out of this channel that even I don't think, you know, it's going to be as clean as it turns out to be. And it turns out to be, you know, just as clean most of the time. And I'm like, holy freaking moly. All right? The last thing I will bring up is not something that I suggest at all, okay? But I am going to put on your radar. This thing could explode, all right? And I'm not sure if it's going to explode, but if it goes, it has a potential to take out this high, okay? It is the FU Money Club, the Zach Morris trend that's going on with all these coins, all right? I'm going to take my stab at this, all right? So I threw a couple grand in this guy. We're going to see how this goes, all right? I'm actually, you know, a decent amount of liquidity right now, which is retarded, but it's a bad word. Don't say that. But yeah, guys, all right. I'm just putting it on your radar. This thing has some potential. If you got some gamble money that you really don't care if it goes kapooey, but like also it could 10x on you, there's that. All right. So I don't think it's going to go kapooey, but there's that. All right, guys, with that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of your day. I am going to outline VIX, guys. I know I deleted my arrow here, but I know for a fact my arrow pointed down here, so we'd have room to put in a bullish divergence. That suggests we're going to get some more downside over here and upside on the market, guys. Look at all these red candles on VIX, guys. This is why you call for VIX crush when the daily RSI hits over here, because all the bears and their mothers are going to be like, oh, no. Well, I'm going to say perma bears. I'm not going to say bears. The people who like... You know, I see obvious things and you still are sitting there calling for a crash. Yeah, I'm going to call you a perma bear. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, but that is exactly how it is. When you see certain things, you approach down here on QQQ and you're still calling for a massive move down. What are you thinking? All right, you're looking to short the pop. You're not looking to just short the hole. You got daily RSI oversold. You still had people being bearish down here. How are you bearish down here? How? Go back into the bear market. You still would have made money buying these things. All right, except for this one. Oh, well, technically, all right, you actually did still catch a pretty massive move right there. If you just held through, if you had that thick skin, there you go. All right, guys, carry is actually the last one I'll bring up here. Break and retest going down off of this long-term trend line. All right, you also do have an inverse head and shoulders formation on the weekly chart. All right, guys, with that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of your day. I know I said I wouldn't take up too much of your time, but, you know, 30 minutes. Let's go, guys. We have a good time here on this channel every single day. All right, and I hope you guys feel the same way. With that being said, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.